بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
So the next component we'll try to understand called vSmart, that is your control plane. Like in the previous sections, we have discussed your vManage, which is a management plane, and we have vEdge devices, which are the edge devices or the WAN edge devices, which will be your data plane, which will forward the traffic. Now the other one, which is your control plane, that is your vSmart. Now the job of the vSmart is it's a component which is going to provide you the control plane functionality, like same like inside the router. Now what is the job of a control plane? It is going to build a database, like it's going to run some kind of routing protocol between them, and then what they do is they will, like just like we run some OSPF routing between the two routers, and then they will form the neighbors, and then they will exchange the routes, and then based on that they will build the routing table, and this routing table will decide how the forwarding happens. Now the same thing happens here as well. We are going to run some kind of routing protocol which is going to build a database. But again, the difference is the database is not exchanged directly. It's going to be exchanged via vSmart. Now vSmart is going to act just like a route reflector kind of thing, where the WAN edge devices, now this is just like the edge devices, the WAN edge devices is going to learn the information, and this information will be passed on to the vSmart, and the vSmart is going to pass on this information back to the other vEdges. So it's not going to be direct between edge to edge. It's going to be between the edge to the vSmart, and the vSmart is going to send it back to the other vEdges. So vSmart, we can say it is a kind of brain for the SD-WAN fabric, because it is going to implement the policy and the connectivity between the branches, like manipulating, if there is any requirement for manipulating the routing traffic, access control, segmentation, these kind of things, basically decided by the vSmart here. So all the routing information is going to learn via vSmart. That's what I said. The vEdges is going to forward this information to the vSmart, and then vSmart is going to send it back or distribute it back to the vEdges. So it is just like a centralized control plane. So the vSmart is going to act as a centralized control plane, which is going to get the information from all the vEdges, and then it is going to exchange with the other vEdges. Okay. So this is going to, now what is the advantage? It is going to reduce the control plane load on each and every device, especially when you have a large scale IP networks. Okay. So again, the vSmart, you can add multiple vSmarts, let's say, because in terms of redundancy as well, if you have just one vSmart, then there is a possibility of single point of failure. Now you can deploy multiple vSmarts in different sites or geographically dispersed locations to reduce the likelihood of a single point of failure, and you can combine this with a vManage. So which means you will be getting the information from the vEdge back to all the vSmarts, and then this vSmart is going to pass on this information back to the other vEdges. So at the back end, there is a protocol we used here. We call it as Overlay Management Protocol, OMP. Now, OMP is a protocol which is responsible for establishing and maintaining the SD-WAN control plane sessions, that is kind of exchanging your routing policy, the routing policy to be used, or any kind of management information between the vSmarts. So, or because if you're using multiple vSmart, then probably there will be some kind of management information to be exchanged between the vSmarts. So that is also looked after by the OMP. Okay, so the OMP is a protocol. OMP runs between the vSmarts and the vEdge devices. So the actual data plane traffic again goes directly. So that's the data plane traffic goes directly, but again the control plane traffic is going via vSmart, means the control plane the vSmart is going to implement the policy and the connectivity, how the data will be forwarded. That database is being built by the vSmart. Now again, the vSmarts are highly capable. It can handle up to 5,400 connections per server. And of course, if you want redundancy, you can add up to 20 vSmarts in one single production deployment.